I'm a little nervous to talk about this. I don't know why. I shouldn't be, but I think it's because this is a very different video than anything that I've really talked about on my channel before. So as the title says, I'm a Christian and I feel like I should talk about it. I assume that most people subscribe to me probably aren't Christians. I mean, just based on like content I've posted before, which is like, it's totally fine. Like, I get it, I understand. So this is surely coming out of like total left field for you guys, but for me, it's not. I mean, yes and no, because I've briefly mentioned things like here and there in some videos, but I've never been thorough. I mean, I've like talked about maybe God here and there. I've maybe mentioned real quick, like, oh, I'm a Christian, whatever. Or maybe talked about prayer, but like very quickly, but like I say it and then move on to the next topic. This is a big part of my life, and I honestly feel like fraudulent not talking about it more. Oh, and also, I mean, I have like a bunch of notes. There's like important stuff that I want to mention, but I know if I don't write it down, like I'm gonna forget. If I keep looking up and down, that's why. It's also my duty, like literally something I have to do, I'm called to do as a Christian, is to talk about my faith, to share the gospel and share truth with people. Matthew 5:15 even says this. I will put it somewhere on the screen around here. You know what, let me just read it. My humongous Bible that I just bought. It weighs like 20 pounds, but it's fine. Matthew 5:14 through 15. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. I've made this entire channel over the years all about me, all about like honestly trivial things, and I feel selfish about it, and that's something I felt that I had to ask forgiveness for, because like I have this platform. It's not very big, okay? I know I don't have like 3 billion subscribers, I know that, but I still have 7,000, and that's still quite a lot of people that can be reached if I were just to talk about the truth. But I didn't. Instead, I decided to focus on like surface level things and talk about myself and like glorify myself, which is just, that ain't it. Should not have been spending that much time doing it. If I know something that could be helpful, or not can be, that is helpful and can set people free, then why would I not use this platform and opportunity to do so? So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Over the last like 2 to 3 years, I've gotten more serious about my faith, more serious about like walking with God, and in that time I've learned a lot more about my faith. My whole life I've been a Christian, like in name, a Christian, you know how like a lot of people will be like, I am a Christian, but then like they're just out doing things that like everybody else does, so it's like, are you really a Christian? That was me. I grew up in the church. I even went to this thing called Missionettes, which was basically like the Christian version of Girl Scouts. So I went to that for years. So I did have like a good foundation. But as I got older, going through life, going to college, moving to LA when I'm in my early 20s, like I just completely like left that in the dust and like did my own thing. And in my mind, like I was still a Christian. Like I called myself a Christian. I thought that I was. I believed in God, but I was living my life the complete opposite way that Christians should be. So again, over the last 2 to 3 years, I've been trying to make a big change and like learn more about God, learn more about like who is Jesus, and like asking these tough questions so that I'm able to answer or have an answer for those questions. But I have also made a lot of mistakes, even up until very recently, like even within the last year, things that I'm just like, why I have backslid, as they say. I know that I've surely disappointed God, I've disappointed myself, but luckily in him there's forgiveness. And now, as of today, going forward, I mean not as of today, but like right now, in this very moment, I know that I am in a good place. I will never go back to that lifestyle. There was nothing to be found there for me. I was always disappointed. I felt like I was grasping at the air trying to grab something and never could. Constant disappointment and feeling like a failure, or it's like I was searching for something but couldn't find it. And now I know that I am in a place where I have found something and I am grabbing at something and I'm holding on to it. So it's something that I want to share with you, whoever's watching this, who might be feeling the same way. So while I do want to like share like some of my experiences, what I've learned from that, what we can all learn from that, what the Bible says about those kinds of things, I'm honestly a bit conflicted because I still like love makeup and like love sharing that kind of stuff, and I don't want to completely abandon that. And I don't have the answer. I don't know if that's right or wrong. Do I completely abandon that as well? Do I incorporate that? I'm not sure. So we'll see. I don't know of a whole lot of like very serious Christians who make YouTube videos. I know that they're out there. Honestly, there's only like 2 channels that like I really enjoy watching. I'm gonna butcher her name, but Malena Ciciotti, I think that's how you say her last name. I really do enjoy her. I think she's great, like a breath of fresh air. And then I also do really like Montel Fish. And I'm hoping that, I don't want to say like I'm not gonna like copy them, but in that same vein, you know, where they make really interesting creative content and are Christians as well. And I like that. I appreciate that. And I do feel like there is a certain demographic that I could potentially reach making these videos that might not have been reached otherwise, you know? So as I kind of mentioned, I was what they would call a lukewarm Christian. I thought I could do both. I thought I could be my own person and do whatever I wanted and have no repercussions, but then I could also still be a Christian and be saved. But it doesn't work like that. Like it does. You just can't. You just can't do both. So for example, I was deep into astrology, and I know that's one that like surprises a lot of people, and even myself, because even when I was like really into astrology, not doing readings, but reading horoscopes. I was about to say reading horoscopes, watching readings like religiously, no pun intended, but religiously watching astrology readings online. While I was doing all that kind of stuff, I would hear people say like, you know, astrology is bad, Christians shouldn't be doing that, whatever. And I'd be like, what? Like, what? Why? It's the planets and stars and God created them, so what are you even talking about? We'll get into that down the road, but I used to be in that place and I was heavy into it. I was like this close to like buying books on astrology and like learning how to do readings myself, because I thought like that'd be so cool. I could do it for friends and family, or maybe I could even like make videos where I'm doing that thing. But I mean, luckily I didn't end up going through with it, but I'm just trying to paint a picture here. I was deep into that. I started watching like tarot card readings online. I never did anything in person. I never like went to like a tarot reader or like a medium or anything myself. I personally never owned the cards, but just the fact that, again, I was religiously watching these readings, like videos of them, like that's bad enough. Should not be looking into that stuff, but I was into it. I got into yoga for a little bit, another surprising one for people. And then just like, you know, partying, as you can imagine, like getting ridiculously drunk, drugs, and as embarrassing as this is to admit, I feel like I need to bring all this out to the light. But just like chasing after like status and like dudes who have money and are like, not the word affluent, but have like influence, like guys who like are prominent in like music or entertainment or whatever. Like I love that. Like I wanted to be surrounded by that. Like I wanted that life, so I was chasing after that. So kind of how I mentioned like chasing after the wind or grasping at the wind and not being able to grab it, like that was me chasing after these things, and just never being satisfied or fulfilled by that. So with everything in the world unfolding as it is, I really see how important it is now to get serious about God, from turning away from all of like the mess and the junk of the world and not aligning with that anymore, because it is meaningless. Like there will come a time when all that fades away, and people who have put their all into that, building up kingdoms of this world, like that, there will be nothing left, none of that left. And I don't want to be a part of that anymore. Matthew 24, I'll put it up on the screen so you can read it, is happening like right in front of our eyes. I feel like you would have to be a fool to deny it. Once you read through that, and I mean there's multiple other places in the New Testament that like explicitly describe what will happen in the last days. Like we are living it. And I know some people might think that I'm crazy. I don't care. It's truth. Like we absolutely can't deny that that is happening. So with all of that being said, I just feel like now more than ever, I have to get my life right. Like everybody needs to get serious about it. And that's why I feel at this point led to shift my focus on what kinds of videos that I'm making and talk about this. I know that there will be people who don't accept it, but you know, I figure I did my part. You've heard the truth, and what you do with that truth is up to you. But I feel led to talk about it and to let you know. Jesus even said, you are either with me or against me. You cannot serve two masters. So that lie that I believed, that I could be a Christian, but I can also be getting drunk, blackout drunk, and I can be doing drugs and sleeping around and like doing all those kind of things. Like, no, that's not how it works. You know, there is no more gray area. We're either with Jesus or we are against him, and we have to be serious. That's why I feel led to talk about this more and be honest about it. With all of that being said, I do ask for patience and grace. As I said, I've learned a lot, and I know so much more than I did before, but I still have so much more that I do need to learn in a lot of areas that I have to work on. I've gotten better in a lot of areas in my life, like patience. That's still a very hard one for me. Anger, oh my gosh, I used to have the worst temper. Still working on it, but it's vastly improved. And that, you know, that's something I could talk about too. So yeah, while I have gotten better in a lot of areas, there are places I still have to do better and learn more. So I do just ask that you be patient and have grace with me. And if there's something that I get wrong, don't get upset, don't crucify me, okay? But you know, let me learn from it. And I'm sure that I will make mistakes, but if and when I see that I do, I'll be the first one to talk about it and try to make it right. So that's pretty much all that I have for this video. I think the next video, kind of faith-based video that I want to make, is talking about why I don't go out to the club anymore, why I don't go raving. I was a big raver, let me tell you, okay? I was a candy kid. Not like the traditional candy kid. I kind of had like my own vibe to it, but a candy kid nonetheless, all right? It's been like 3 years since I've like gone to a rave, and I've changed, girl, I've changed. So that's what I want to talk about in the next faith-based video. So if you'd like to see that and see more of where I'm going with this, subscribe to my channel. I hope that you enjoyed this and you know, got something from it. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know how to end this. I just feel like kind of awkward and weird, but I will post more soon. Bye.